afternoon. Hopefully everything is coming out okay on that end. I'll assume it is, unless you jump into the chat room and tell me differently. I have a few things that I wanted to cover before I do the show tonight with Jeffrey. Good to see you coming in. What's in a name? Good to see you. Robin Selkin, Rebecca Spooner, Michael, Barry Chad, Scott, Lori, Rachel, Palladian Tarot, Anna Tier, Faith is the Way, Mystery School, good to see you as always. Whole bunch flowing into the room. I wanted to just cover a couple things here. First of all, a person made a comment on a video of mine, and I just thought I would bring it up. It's not like you probably haven't heard me say the things that I've said that I'm going to be saying, but I'm going to be repeating them in maybe a different way, because that is clearly what's needed in this world. That people rest on these beliefs that they have inside. They don't actually pay attention to any of the words that they hear, nor any of the words that they even say, for that matter. That we have what seems to be a crippling, debilitating sickness within our minds here on this plane that doesn't allow us to even hear the very words that we say or think even remotely in depth about the things that we say that we believe in. Now, I read an article today that stated that Christianity is plummeting in this country. Now, Christianity throughout all of Europe has already really taken a massive hit. Now, many people would say, oh, well, this is an awful thing. Well, but see, the reality is that vast majority of Christians, in fact, higher than 65% of Christians in this country today, have a also New Age belief. And this is where I've warned against the containers, the boxes of statements where somebody says, that's New Age, or that's this, or that's that. When you place these boxes around something, that allows all of the truth within that box to be ignored by that person making that statement. And this is also dangerous for those that subscribe to a religion, that no matter what turn the religion takes, it's almost as though you can't undo what you need to undo, that you can't alter your thought, that you have to subscribe to these dogmatic beliefs and these dogmatic statements about the religion that you've become subscribed to. And this is also the danger. Let's say somebody wants to get into politics and they want to support a politician. So they think, okay, well, I'm anti-abortion, so I'm a Republican. Well, now anything that the Republicans do, you're considered a Republican. So let's say 8 out of the 10 things that they do, you actually disagree with. But because your foundation principle as to becoming a Republican is anti-abortion, so you accept all of the evil things as well. The boxes that we maintain in our lives, more importantly, the box that we maintain within our own heads and what we think. We don't even hear the words that we say. We don't hear the selfishness in the things that we speak. We can't even recognize it. And so my response usually is no response whatsoever, because I don't want to be the one that is chastising somebody else. It isn't my job to discipline somebody else. It's their job to discipline themselves. The Spirit of the Father in you creates that disciplinary factor within you. He reproves those that he loves. So it is an incredibly difficult situation for people to understand just how much crap comes from their mouth. And it begins in the mind. Now, the mind is captive by the flesh. You already know this. So I wanted to say this because I'm going to read you the comment directly, and this is from Yvonne Campbell, who commented on my video about that Christ is within you. And wake up. Now, this is a person that is a subscribed Christian, what you would consider, you know, a Bible thumper in this country, somebody that goes to church, somebody that carries her Bible into church. somebody that believes that she understands the scriptures, somebody that believes that she knows what Christ was all about, yet doesn't know a single thing about her scriptures. And now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be quoting scriptures on her behalf, because if she's a Bible thumper of today and churchgoer today, then she is most assuredly loving Paul. Now, don't get me wrong, as I've said many, many times, Paul has multitudes of spiritual truths because Paul had either experienced it based on the Christians that he was killing, also the teachings that he was recovering from those Christians that he was killing. And just like I've said, I don't hate Paul when people say, oh, I know you hate Paul. I don't hate Paul at all. I get irritated with Paul because I believe that Paul was actually weak and that Paul was being controlled by the Romans and the Hebrews. He was playing both sides, and that he admits that he lies. So we've covered that in multiple ways. So I want to read this comment from Yvonne Campbell, that Yvonne, when in response to the evidence that Christ is within you, that video that I posted before the PC was up, and I'll give you guys an update on everything as I can get into this. But Yvonne states, no, he is not. We were made in the image and likeness of God, but Christ is not in us. That is New Age belief. Don't be deceived. Is this thing on? Did you just hear this person? I'm just going to read to you a few of the scriptures that I'm sure that she would agree with, but yet never hear them. Romans 8:10, but if Christ is in you, through the body, though the body is dead because of sin, the spirit is life because of this righteousness. 2 Corinthians, test yourselves whether you are in the faith. Prove yourselves, or do you not realize about yourselves that Jesus Christ is in you unless you are disproved? Galatians 1:15 and 1:16. But when it pleased God, who set me apart from my mother's womb and called me through his grace to reveal his Son in me, I might announce him as the gospel among the Gentiles. Immediately, I did not confer with flesh and blood. Galatians 2:20. I am crucified in Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me, Yvonne. In me, Yvonne. Christ lives in me, Yvonne. Clean out the ears. Colossians 1:27. To whom God willed to make known that we are the riches of the glory of his mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. So just a few, and I could go on and on and on and on, Yvonne. Go back into your church. Go ask them why they didn't teach you those things. And why don't you, while you're at it, tell your pastor that Christ isn't in him. Tell him that. Okay? Sorry to be the one that, like I said, I don't like being the one that has to discipline. But that is the most ignorant statement ever. And from a Christian that claims these are New Age. That's as those scriptures from Paul are as dogmatic as the church is today, but those are the spiritual truths. This is where I say the truth is always there. They let you know, but just so you can understand that they have taught it differently. They have taught it so you don't have this in you. And we run from it because the enemy has caused that within us. He has caused it within us because we're all taught you can't be God. No, you know what? That's a singular form. Are we all the Father? Yes, that's why it's called the body of Christ. How can you be in the body of Christ if Christ isn't in you? Everything in this world is intended to diminish who you are. This is what I said, to make you sheeple, that you're just nothing, you're not good for anything except out there grazing, and when we need a little bit of your fur, we'll cut it off, and when we need to eat you, we'll eat you. That's the world we live in. And unfortunately, the reason why people are fleeing the church is because the church has not done its job. The church has subscribed to politics. The the church ignores. They say, love your neighbor, love your enemy, pray for your enemies. Sure, they say it, for they honor me with their lips. They honor me with their lips, but in their hearts, they are far from me. So all of these statements point to, the statements of Christ are so profound because all of these statements refer to today, right now. That the world that we live in, that the very church that claims to be of Christ denies Christ. So let me just give you a little bit of evidence here also. Hold on. So let me just bring and read it to you directly so it's right in front of us here. So this is also for Yvonne. So Yvonne, if you don't understand who you are and who the rest of you, all of you, who are the present day Christian church, the church of Laodicea that will be spit out of the mouth of the Father. John 2:2-2. 1 John 2:2-2. Sorry, 1 John 2:22, just to help you out there. Who is the liar but he who denies that he is the Christ? This is the Antichrist, he who denies the Father and the Son. Now, this is where this has gotten screwed up by the church. That the Son, as Christ said, don't listen to them, is over there. He's over there. He's not in here. He's over there. That's Yvonne. That's the sickness of the enemy. Now, I'm not using this person specifically, although she's the one that commented, so she's going to get it. But the reality is, this Yvonne is just an example. She is but an image of the church today that denies Christ. She denies the Father and the Son. She denies the Father and the Son. She denies it within herself. She is the Antichrist. And everyone else that also subscribes to the same thing and wants to label this as New Age. So when you label something as New Age, automatically the Christian's going to go, oh my gosh, that's another religion. Again, the divisiveness of these religions or ideas or boxes. Get away from the box. The greatest news I can hear is that Christianity as a religion today is being beat up because it has been failing the people of the world for a very long time. For a very long time. When they let the Council of Nicaea remove scriptures and not allow people to make up themselves, they make up their minds themselves and understand the Father within them. They themselves set up the dogmatic system by which we would be adhering to this very day. Christianity has failed humanity, or the world wouldn't be where it's at. If Christianity hadn't failed this country, they wouldn't be not forgiving their neighbors or not loving to their neighbors and demanding to build a wall and calling somebody illegal. Illegal for what? This planet is ours. This land is ours. Anyone that tells you this is our land and that is their land is a liar. It's all ours, all of ours. And this world has given more acreage to cows to graze than it has been given to humanity. This is the sickness and the disease that we have within this country right now. And Yvonne is the prime example of it. So I'm quite thankful for your comment, Yvonne. I appreciate that. It makes it wonderful to be able to highlight something that clear, that somehow I'm New Age. I don't even know what New Age beliefs are. I only know what the Father has revealed to me. That's all I know. When somebody wants to say, oh, I'm Illuminati, or I'm a Luciferian, or I'm this, all of these stupid boxes are ridiculous. You can't put me in a box. There isn't a box big enough, and there's not a cage strong enough to hold what is inside me. So don't bother with them. As for an update, and I apologize, I haven't been reading the chat room, folks. To give you an update, I am back online, as you can see, and I have a new PC, new monitor, and I tried to basically, I was repairing the other one, and it just came to my attention that after I started putting it back together, that that I didn't want to have to continually go down the road of repairing something that has really taken a whooping. I bought it used, and so I got it cheap. This I got new. This will last me for as it was not cheap. So I appreciate those that have helped and contributed, because it wasn't cheap. I wanted to make sure that I had the proper equipment for coming to you whenever I'm asked to, and also to make sure that I have something stable for the trip into the desert. That putting these videos together, I have to be able to edit these videos, and I have to be able to render them, and I have to be able to do this work, and that requires some power in a machine. So, between everything, I shouldn't have any technological issues anymore, unless they're just gremlins within the internet. So right now, it looks like everything works. So I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate everybody that has helped and contributed thus far. I had to sacrifice a little bit of food money to get it done. So like I said, I love you very much for allowing the Father to work within you when He sees fit. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, that is just a few short hours from now, I'm going to be on Jeff Doherty's channel, and we are going to be discussing separating Jesus from the church and separating Jesus's words from the Bible. Now that's going to be important, because obviously if the truth has been thrown in amongst the lies and the deception, well, then it's difficult to find the truth within those words. So we're going to separate those things out and have that discussion. And it's Jeffrey's channel, so I'll let him lead that. And just to let you know, I will be also doing a specific video that is unlisted, but it will be posted within globalwitness.me, the social website for Global Witness. And the reason why I'm doing that, this video is going to be specifically about the trip and details about the trip. And I'm going to be addressing a whole bunch of things that we are to expect. So everybody that is planning on coming, understand exactly what to expect. I have confirmed Jeffrey Doherty is definitely coming. John from Best Damn Podcast is definitely coming. Rex Bear is definitely coming. Naughty Beaver is not coming, and Steve from WSO is not coming. So Steve has some things that he's going through that that he needs to handle. So I fully love and respect that. Naughty is Naughty. I love him very much, and Naughty's up there in Canada, and it's a bit more of a trek for him than some of the other folks. So I appreciate it being a challenge for him. Also, we will most likely be adding a few other people. I'm looking to add a couple other folks to this. In fact, there is one that I've reached out to that I won't tell you who until they've reached back out to me, but I think it would be terrific to have them on board. Also, there's a lot going on, and hopefully, you know, the what we'll be able to talk about there and the fellowship that we'll have in the desert, I think is probably going to be the bigger portion of the trip. Is that the fellowship and the personal testimonies and interaction between the folks here on the channel, and then obtaining the information throughout the day of people that have gone up into the mountains or into caves, and bringing that information back and discussing what we've learned and seen. That's going to be quite profound. I truly believe that that the vast majority of what we're going to be experiencing will be spiritual, and that will be visually confirmed. I can't explain to you, but all I can tell you is that what I've seen, and call it a premonition, call it prophecy, whatever you want to call it, I just want to tell you that I'm expecting very, very amazing things to take place. Now, as always, my concern goes to everyone that is there, because we also have quite a few threats and quite a few crazy people that have written some nasty things and that would like to disrupt that. So as I've said, we will make sure that we have proper security folks in place just to make sure. We will also have medical people, EMTs, people that will be able to handle any medical situation that might arise. But as I said, you're going to definitely need your own food. You're going to definitely need your own water. And depending on where this is at and whether we can have a porta potty or, some porta potties there, you may need a bucket and a shovel, because that's a requirement, particularly when you're camping out in national forest. You'll see even signs that say, this is the requirement. You need a bucket and a shovel. So don't expect the Four Seasons or the Ritz-Carlton in the desert. This is going to be definitely a rough time, but a beautiful and a smooth time as well. Think of music, think of worship, think of fellowship, and think of learning. So I look forward to that, and look forward to a bonfire with a bunch of people. That to me is exciting. That sounds like a lot of fun. So tonight, do not forget Jeffrey Doherty's channel. If you don't know Jeffrey Doherty's channel, if you don't have that link, I will post his channel link in the comments right now. Give me 1 second. And if you haven't been to Jeffrey's channel, please go check that out. That's Jeffrey's channel that I just posted in the comment section. Subscribe to Jeffrey. And I also want to thank everybody. We just, I think about an hour or two ago, this channel surpassed 43,000 subscribers. So we only have 101,000 to go. So get the word out, share the channel, continue to spread the gospel, because this is the gospel of truth. The gospel of truth is precisely what gospel means. It means good news. And let's remember the reason why Christ said that he came to preach the good news to the poor and not the rich, right? Well, it was poor in spirit, but it was also poor in wealth as well, because it's that much more difficult for those that are wealthy to hear the gospel. And those doesn't mean that the rich people can't hear the gospel. And the reason why it says good news to the poor is because the gospel isn't good news to the rich, because it's going to be telling them that all that wealth that they have and everything that they have means nothing and is going away. So that is the truth of the matter. So I'll try to get to the chat room here really quick. I don't want to take up a bunch of time since I have to be on in an hour and a half from now on Jeffrey's channel. Good to see Tracy. Tracy, thank you very much for doing wonderful moderation work. I appreciate you. Chris Kaihart, good to see you. Diane Swan, Sheila Abrams, Wendy, boy, this pops go so fast. I'm sorry if I miss you. Greg Bauman, Bill H. Well, there's only almost 600 in the room, so I can't necessarily read everybody. Stacy Schulten, I Believe. Good to see you, I Believe, and I'm loving your videos. Anyone, if you haven't seen I Believe or Tracy's videos, and I believe if Jeanette is in the room, there are people that have started to make their own videos. John, the Best Dad Podcast, I encourage you to go watch the videos. They are help you understand the process and the things that you're going through, the questions that you have, the experiences that you're having, they also have. And so how they've overcome those, they're able to have that discussion with you. I think they're wonderful to be able to do that. LeSway, Derek, did you see my last message on mail or messenger? I have not. I've been very busy, as I've said. I just had to put this computer together. It's not about plugging something in. It's about adding software. It's about making sure that all the files, video files, and all of the software that I have get ported over. Has to be reset up. It was an all-day adventure yesterday. I mean, all day. And it's still not even complete yet. I still have tons of software to load on here. This is not an easy gig. I am just one man. There is a social site, globalwitness.me. I've got multiple email accounts. There's also the Facebook page. There's people sending me things from all over the place. I appreciate you sending them. What I do want to talk about here is I just want to address what is appropriate and what isn't to send. I mean, I love you and I want to hear and want to be able to read your comments or your prayer request or anything like that. But understand that you send me a 20-page email, I don't have time to read that. I wish I did, but if I read every 20-page email, you would never hear from me. I'd never make another video. I'd be reading 20-page emails until the end of time. There are so many. You cannot send me long emails like that. And if you're going to send me something, make sure it means something. I don't need to hear, and it's not that I don't want to, but the reality is it just occupies space and time. So try to think selflessly, not selfishly. If you want to occupy the time and space in the email, then you're going to be taking time. Anytime that I'm reading your email, I'm taking time away from somebody else's. So you need to make sure that it's important. Hold on one second. Much apologies, had somebody show up. So just make sure that whatever you send, try to pay attention to what you're writing, because I spend a lot of time reading emails where people ask me or tell me about something ridiculous. Now, it might not be ridiculous to you, but it might have a bigger meaning to you. But, you know, if you took your dog, you walked your dog and you had saw a beautiful sunset, that's great. I appreciate that, but I don't need to hear that. That's between you and the Father. And I don't need to read details about your life. If you have a question, that's great. I try to get to those questions. If I just don't respond to you directly, it doesn't mean that I didn't read the question. It means that I'm going to try to address it in a live video or a future video. So, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of time, folks, and it requires a tremendous amount of time and focus to stay focused on the things that are taking place in the world, stay focused on the things that are requirements, focused on the things that the Father's showing me, and anything that is self-absorbed. I can't even explain to you the energy drained that it is in me. It is so difficult because I mean, I also have to already deal with the negative emails and the attack emails, and I just delete those right away. I don't even pay attention to them because there is no good that comes of reading them. There isn't any good. If somebody wants to challenge my scriptural understanding or send me scripture, I read those and then I'll address them within the videos, kind of like I just addressed Yvonne's comment from the previous video. It is unbelievable the types of things that I do receive, even from believers and people that believe. I mean, here's the one thing that I want to stress to everybody is that you don't make me a currency, that you don't become reliant upon me. Don't, because there will be one day I will not be here. So don't rely on me. Rely on the Father in you, not on me. Now, I can bring things up and I can bring things to, just like, you know, myself and Jeff tonight, we can bring things to reveal, but rest in yourself and Christ in you and not on me. Because when I become your source for energy, then number one, I will not be able to correct you or give you a correction on something that you say, or point out when something that you've said or done is negative. Otherwise, you might now have a different feeling about me because you relied on me for a specific set of currency, for a positive energy. But if you're going to contact me personally on my cell phone or something, and you're going to send me something that is selfish, and I'm going to respond, I'm not going to respond nicely. Christ, I mean, this is anybody that thinks that Christ was all loving and it was all butterflies and unicorns. Think again, read again. There was a reason why Christ said to his apostles, "How long must I bear with you?" His frustration was palpable. This is why he left and went up into the wilderness by himself. He had to get away from these things because he knew what was in man. It says that he entreated no man. In other words, he didn't become friends with anyone because he knew what was in them. Because even though they thought they were enlightened, because even though they thought they knew this truth, even though they were followers and listening, that didn't mean that they were absent from the evil that still resides within us, that they would bring that to him. And I can't imagine, I mean, I can imagine from a personal standpoint, but I can't imagine what it would be like to be standing around 5,000 people on a regular basis and having the things that get sent to me in text and emails. I would probably just lose hope for humanity altogether. And I can tell you, based on a lot of the emails, it is incredibly difficult for me to maintain hope for people when I see just unbelievable loss in the statements of people that think they're awake. Pay attention to your heart. Pay attention to the things that you say, every single word. Think of the motive behind it, and the motive behind the motive, and the motive behind the motive, and that motive. Think deeply about these things. It's very, very difficult to read some of the things that I read, and that people don't see the selfishness within the words that they speak. It's just incredible to me. So, yes. Let the Father answer your prayers. Let me see. Lori Chavez, synchronicity. Matt Burkett says, Global Witness, are you going to be posting videos on globalwitness.me from the trip? Yes, there will be specific videos from there that are probably that the vast majority of people on the channel aren't going to necessarily want to see. They'll be. I'd like to have a live stream that goes live from the camp. From, you know, depending on the satellite internet setup that we have, it's going to be hard. There's still a lot of stuff to put together, folks. I have a huge amount of work to do before then. I mean, a huge amount of work. Yes, YouTube will also have live videos. Like I said, if we can get this satellite set up, if we have the money, we've had one donor that came in and donated, and that's going to cover flights and all of these people coming. I'm still trying to arrange for the satellite internet. I don't know how costly that's going to be for that period of time yet. So there is the Witness in the Desert PayPal pool that we've set up specifically for the event. I'm fairly certain we'll be able to make it work as long as there is the setup that we're going to need. We're going to have to rent some generators, and that's also going to cost some more money. So I'm trying to put all of this together and do these videos and build PCs and manage websites and read emails. It's quite the task. Remember, I am just one guy here. I do not have a staff. And so Andrew Falwell says, is PayPal the only way to donate? It's what I have organized right now to keep donations separate. If you you can email me, dbros@gmail.com. If there's another way that you wanted to donate for it, you just have to mark it as a donation for Witness in the Desert. I try to keep that separate from anything that that people are sending specifically to the ministry that myself and Malia are putting together and building and getting ready to make this a mobile ministry. So I am, as I will always say, we are still looking for a 1-ton truck to be able to pull this trailer. This trailer would be the traveling ministry. It's nice enough that that we'll be able to have private meetings here as well, private counseling for people on the road. I also definitely plan on meeting with pastors along the road throughout the country once I can arrange for that. The truck needs to be reliable, needs to be 1 ton, because this is a 36-foot, 30,000-pound facility here. So it is, right now we're just, myself and Malia are putting things together to equip this, that we have everything that we would need at any given time to set up and to be able to speak and to witness around this country, and eventually to over the course of the next year or two, because we do have that much time. I can tell you that. But things are going to get very hectic, and but I'd like to very much be able to take this over to Europe and the Middle East. And I definitely plan on a future trip to Israel. So there is lots going on, also to Russia. So make sure I have security. I see haters on other channels. Oh yeah, and Hey Man said that. Yeah, there's haters on other channels. I'm not worried about haters. You're always going to have haters. I mean, think about it. Did Christ have haters? And considering that the testimony of Christ is the spirit of prophecy, well then, it's a prophecy about our lives today. So yes, you're going to have haters. Mine are just quite a bit more public. But it's okay. I don't hate my haters. I let them do the hating. They can hate all they want, and you will know them by their fruit, right? So the reality of anything that anybody is speaking, the fruits right here. Here's the fruit of the things that I'm speaking right here in this chat room. You are the fruit. Your lives that have been transformed, your lives that have been changed by this truth. I didn't do that. The truth changed that. Christ changed that. Not me, not this man, but the words of truth. It is the word of truth that alters you. Damien says, what about Australia, Derek? I would love to go to Australia. I just don't know whether they'll have me. So, Sheila Abrams says, I hate only that they're going to miss the bus. You know, they won't as long as we stay true. We'll get them on. When all things that have been spoken are revealed, the only thing that the problem is not that they've made the right or the wrong decision now. This is why John from Best Damn Podcast will testify to this, is that this is why I say I hold nothing against any of these people that have attacked me. None of them. Because I want them to be able to reach out to me when that time comes. And only in our individual shame will we not allow ourselves to do those things. So I don't hold anything against any one of them. If any one of them emailed me and you know, said, do you hate me? I would say, no, I absolutely love you. And I truly do love them. I truly do love everybody. Doesn't mean I have to like your activities. Doesn't mean I have to like the things that you do. But I never judge you, the person. I just judge the enemy's actions, because even in myself, every single day, just like you must accept your forgiveness daily. You must die to yourself daily. You must not hold yourself responsible for that bad thought. You repent from it. Repentance doesn't mean guilt. Doesn't mean having that guilt. You first have that guilt, and then you throw the guilt away and you repent. But you don't want to have guilt hanging over your head. The guilt and control matrix is that which of the church. That's so that they can keep you in line, keep you putting money into the bucket and buying your salvation, in the same way that the Sadducees and the Pharisees were selling you animals to sacrifice on the altar. They were literally selling animals for you so you could then donate the animal back to them, and they could slaughter them and pour their blood all over the wall there for your forgiveness of sins. So buying salvation is the world that the church has become today. So troll alert, Rana says. So Tracy, find the troll. Try to get to some of these questions here. Hello from Japan. Angie, Japan. How is Japan? I love Japan, by the way. I love it over there. Critical Thinker 313 says, for every hater, you will gain more love. It's truly painful to see them be sleepyheads. Well, you know, as I was saying on Jeff's channel earlier, it's amazing that even Christ said to his disciples, you know, he said, stay awake while he prayed, right? Stay awake. They couldn't do that 3 times. They couldn't stay awake. What that's speaking of is staying awake to these truths. Let's see. Christ is within us, the only way. Rebecca Spooner. Yes. Tell, can't remember her name already. It's how quickly I try to forget things that bring up such negative actions. Eddie Lloyd says, bro, you're just a lover, not a hater. That's true. Yes, hate the disease, not the patient. Exactly. And again, in judging other people, right, in judging other people, where somebody says, you know, many of these haters or Christians think that they're being righteous because Christ said, judge with right judgment. But as I've articulated many times, right judgment means judging you where you're at. If somebody is negative and somebody is evil, you don't judge them. They're afflicted, just like you were afflicted. You judge whether you should be there or not. You judge whether you should be listening to them or not. Just like you judge whether you should or should not be listening to me. I don't tell you to listen to me. You do it because you're judging that within yourself. So why would you judge another person? Don't judge whether they listen to me or don't listen to me. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what you think. I only care what you know. What you know in your heart is the only thing that is important. Hello from Canada, M says. You know, I grew up in a place called 100 Mile House, British Columbia. Little tiny place in central BC. I absolutely love Canada. So hello back to Canada. And hello to, I know right now that I've got a few people that are listening in Israel. I also have somebody in Bolivia. There is also quite a few in Russia. Multitudes in Spain. Quite a few Spaniards. And also I have an entire household in Turkey that listens on a regular basis. So hello to all of you. And I see here we have Portugal. Very, very good. Chris says, much love and respect to the Father, PF the Most High's children. Shout here from Thailand. Good to see you, Maria Victoria Ayani, I believe. Ayani, shout from Thailand. Good to see Thailand here as well. The UK, I see the UK. Julia B in the UK. There's also Wayne in the UK. Love you, Wayne, very, very much. Miss you. Rebecca Spooner says, listen to your mama talking about your time in Canada. Loved hearing it. Yes, it was a remarkable time. I miss it up there. I'm far more at home in the woods by myself than I am anywhere else. I like being way out in the wilderness. And I helped run a lodge that was in a place called Clean-a-Clean. It's called Shalenko Lodge. And I spent most of my time by myself at 12 years old in the wilderness, literally hundreds of miles away from anyone. So I've seen Kodiak grizzlies up close and personal. I've been chased down by cow moose and her calf. I've been held in a tree for literally 8 hours by a cow moose and her calf. I've experienced just about everything that the hardwoods can hand out. I've seen it all. I've been chased down by a wolverine, you name it, man. There's one thing that is very, very harsh territory up there. It is the Canadian Rockies. It is an incredible place, and I've climbed to the top of a peak called Perkins Peak. And on the way up there, I spent probably about 4 days on top of that mountain, and so remote that even the mountain goats looked at me like I was just one of them. It's like they had never seen a person before. So AZ was timed out by Tracy. Good job, Tracy. So Tracy found the troll patrol. So, and I need to probably add a few more people on as moderators here in this room. So raise your hand if you think that you would make a good moderator and that you can be relied upon. Then I'm happy to add some more moderators on here. Send me an email about it and with your YouTube name so I know exactly what it is. And right now I've only got 2 or 3 moderators, I believe, that are on here. Good to see you, Scrub. Always good to see the Scrub. And let me see, try to get to some more of these questions here. Lim McGraw, did you agree on anything of Jeff and Sanders' video? Jeff and Sanders' video? Some. But again, like I said, I don't disagree or agree with anything. I stay neutral in all of it. I put it on the shelf and I wait for things to be revealed. I thought that some of the things provided some great insight into some of the things that I've said. Some of them didn't didn't resonate at all with what I understood, but that doesn't mean that I discount everything. Like I said, this is what I'm trying to convey to all of you, is that when you hear something that you think that you disagree with, that in and of itself makes you abandon everything that somebody says. And that's a dangerous place to be, because you will not hear the things that you need to hear as long as you're being biased based on something that they said. I can listen to a pastor today that is bought and sold on the way that the Christian church runs and operates the church today, but yet find tremendous truths in some of the things that he says. So I don't even discount them. It's not, I don't hold it against any of them. Let me see. Can you make a video on the Palladians? Yeah, that's a bit of a rat hole. But I've discussed it quite a few times, and I do discuss the things that are necessary to discuss. When it comes to talking about things just for the sake of talking about things, if it's not actually enhancing your spiritual journey and bringing you closer to the Father, not my gig to teach you precisely who the Anunnaki would be, or the Palladians, or those from the constellation of Sirius, or any of that. If it has something to do with helping you understand how you can come closer to the Father, then absolutely I'll discuss it. But my task is quite specific. Nancy says, Nancy Ash Lady Hawk Smith, is it going to be possible for spiritual contact in the desert? It's possible for spiritual contact wherever you're at, but wherever the scripture, the original scripture according to the Nag Hammadi of Christ saying where two or more deities are gathered, not where two or more people. Where two or more deities are gathered, I am there. So think about this, is that if you have two or more, or 2,000, obviously that's going to have a compounding effect. And worship is, don't get the word wrong as far as worship, but worship is, as Malia and I were talking about it today, is really transcending this place, understanding that you need to leave this world in order to truly sit and be by yourself. I can be by myself in a crowd because I'm with myself and the Father. It doesn't matter where I'm at. Now, the more people that are there that are of like mind, of like spirit, no question about it that a transcending this world can take place. I mean, just being in the desert alone, where you are away from everything, away from all of the electronics, away from all of the electrical wires, away from everything, broken off from the world, it's a good place to start. And prayer walking, I do think that we will, I was talking about this with Malia as well this morning. She's quite the prayer walker. And so it's something that I definitely want to do. I want to have groups of people in the morning when everyone wakes up, is that we go out on a long prayer walk, and just not a lot of whole people, not a whole lot of conversation. In fact, none would be great. Just prayer, internal prayer, walking, meditating, as we all collectively do the same action. It's a good start. Let's flip this rock upside down. Yes, I agree. Let's turn these poles. Let's move this puppy. Let's lay these mountains low. Tara Martin, so okay, so I'm not absolutely nuts. No, Tara, you are not nuts. There are some people that write me that are, but no, you're not it. No, I don't even judge the people that send me crazy things. Again, I don't judge anything, because I don't know where that might be revealed to me. I don't want to eliminate anything. And that's also the danger in reading all of these things as well, is that there's always a risk of it draining energy. So that's why I just ask to be cognizant of the things that you send, and how you know, there's a real danger when the minute I respond to somebody, instantly they can take on and think, oh, well, I've got an in with this guy. Now I can send him 20 emails a day and he's always going to respond. And then I don't, and they get angry. Or if we speak, and we speak on the phone, then instantly, oh, I can call him and talk and ask him a question at any time. No, that's not the case. That's inconsiderate. It's inconsiderate. Think about other people. Think about everybody here. Think about all of the things that must be done. Let me see. Chris says, what up with the evil ones and the purple they use? Color, Derek. I see. Don't really know the emojis because it's not coming out well here. Again, everything from the fathers is corrupted by the enemy. So the purple and scarlet are referred to in obviously in scriptures quite often. So I would take a look at those and think of how rather than answering that question directly to you, because you're going to find that you're going to have an individual understanding of it that's going to apply to just you. Those colors are important and they are quite personal. So obviously the crimson or the scarlet is also blood, but multiple meanings. So again, multiple truths for single things. Find the truth that resonates in you. Pronounced Ashley Ladyhawk. Okay, Ashley Ladyhawk. Ladyhawk is a great movie. And there's a lot more to that movie. Maybe we'll talk about that one day. So water rippled effect, like something is manifesting, Derek. Some of us ain't seeing this. I'm not quite sure completely what that comment means, but the water rippled effect, some of you are not seeing it. The water rippled effect, it is happening. And if you're paying attention to the things around you and you're paying attention to the world, you're seeing this manifest. I mean, I've been up for 10 months. 10 months and we have 43,000 subscribers. That to me is ripple and water effect. That's having a greater impact. 43,000 subscribers has very little to do with the overall message that has been spread. There's more than 3 million views of 3 million views of my videos as well. So the truth is getting out there. So many people have heard this and does have an impact. You can watch it. You can even see it on the news. You can talk to people. We are changing the consciousness of this world. Ask Lucid says, Derek, there's a disturbance in the force, especially in the last few days. There is no question about that. Pay very close attention to those energies. And what I would say is when Christ went out and removed himself and went up into the desert, that's essentially what you do. Just sit. Don't allow it to frustrate you. Don't allow yourself to react from it. Your reaction is where the corruption comes from. Tammy, Malihi or Derek, you will reach 144,000. I've seen it. Yes, I have too. I appreciate that confirmation. Sheila Abrams, seeing things that seem like something's trying to manifest. Yes, there's lots coming. Hit the like button, folks. Smash that like button, the thumbs up button. Make sure you click that. Spirits are androgynous. Yes. Christ confirms that. He says, do you not know that in the kingdom there will be nobody, you will be like angels. Nobody will be marrying or giving in marriage because they don't need to. Again and again and again. Vanessa Real says, confused. Well, I can't help your confusion if you don't tell me where you're confused. But I can tell you this, is that when you step into the truth of a world that has been entangling you in lies for centuries upon centuries, that many people say, well, God isn't a God of confusion. Well, when you're unconfusing the confused, it can feel confusing, but it's actually quite straightforward. The gospel of Christ is right there. Read his words, the red letters. Straightforward. Tonight on Jeff's show, myself and Jeff are going to get into this in great detail. I've only got about an hour. I've got some technical work to do beforehand. It's 3:53 now, so it's 4 o'clock Arizona time, 5 o'clock, 1 hour from now on Jeffrey's channel. If you need the link to Jeffrey's channel, I'm going to put this in here one more time. Oh, something happened here. Hold on one second. Wow. That there is the link to Jeffrey's channel. Go there, subscribe, click the bell so you get reminders. Jeff goes live daily, sometimes multiple times. He's got great messages. Stephanie Allen, bye, Derek. Have fun Setting up and see and hear you soon. Thank you very much. And Cree Pride, mine says 553. 553. Well, that's probably because you're on the East Coast. Try to get to one more question. Bye, Derek. See you later at Jeff's. Thank you very much, Randall. I appreciate you. Vernon Brinker. Be there or be square. Yes, I appreciate that. Be there, be square. Merci, Derek. From Previous. Merci beaucoup. Do you see all moving in the same location? Things break out on this earth? Yes, I do see many people gathering in the same locations at multiple places. Do you sing the song of 144,000 from John the Beloved? Do I sing that song of the 144,000? I know it. I sing it in my heart. Your switch to VMs. Not quite sure what that means. Jeanette. Oh, there's a Jeanette. Jeanette A. Gardia. Thank you, boss. Looking forward to you and Jeff in the Hour. You can click on the 3 little dots. If you put your cursor over Jeanette's, she's also got some videos. You can click on that and go to her channel, watch her videos, as well as Tracy's, as well as I Believe, as well as John from Best Damn Podcast. I don't see John in the chat room right now, but he's probably sleeping. John stays up quite late. Tony Lyons talking about tornadoes in Houston last night. The weather is definitely quite erratic. Expect this to be a very different winter. Everybody, I have been getting people being removed from notifications, so make sure that when you go to my page, make sure it says subscribed. People have also been getting unsubscribed, and then unclick the bell and re-click the bell to try to reactivate your notifications. Low777 says, Derek, we need to talk, brah. What do we need to talk about? And a lot of people think, you know, they've got something to talk about, and you know, this is the way I'm going to tell you this. Don't feel upset if I don't get back to you. Everybody will say, and this is also another danger, is that somebody says, get back to me. God's told me to reach out to you. Well, I'll tell you this. When God's told me to respond to you, I will. Until then, do not think I'm ungodly because I'm not responding to you and you feel like you have that strong message. This is where, again, these are the dangers. It's the dangers in ourselves that, oh, I've got this message. Doesn't mean that we have to talk. Say something as short as you can. Understand, there's thousands of emails, folks. Thousands. Be as brief as possible. Leave a phone number. If something that you said instantly resonates, just say exactly kind of where you're at, as brief as possible. I will reach out. I will call you. I do. I make calls all the time when people have things that are profound and prophetic, and instantly it's put on my heart. I need to talk to that person. But sometimes people say, no, God told me I have to talk to you, and I read what they say. I don't feel the Father telling me, reach out to this person. I'm not trying to avoid you. And then if I don't respond, I get these people sending me hate mail. Almost every single one of the videos that have hate towards me, every one of those people have contacted me believing that they're special and that we needed to talk and that they needed to partner with me. And because I didn't respond to them, they started making hate videos. Every single one of them. I've got, in some cases, hundreds of emails from the same people demanding that I speak with them. That's not going to fly. I'm not going to respond to that. I don't listen to people. I listen to the Father. I don't even listen to myself. I try to ignore any thoughts that I have. Global Witness. Hey, I want to know which sign in the sky we must run to the nearest mountain. Let me just put it this way. You will know when you see it. When your legs go numb after seeing it, it's going to be difficult for you to run. Dora Grace. Derek, could we be the 144,000? Why not? Special is not being special. Yes, exactly. There is nobody here that is below me. I'm not above anybody. I'm not below anybody. We are all a body, period. This finger is just as important as this finger, just as important as this finger, just as important as the palm. The body is the body. It's all required. here. So, Dangerous. See you later. So, Eduardo, 144,000 times 777. That'd be a good number. Yes, Dangerous, you've been blocked, so don't even bother. Or Dragorous, sorry. Difficult for me to see the chat here going by. Donna Miller, I'll be a moderator. Gotcha, Donna. Well, wherever that one went, I'll try to come back to it. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, 1 hour from now, it's 3:59, so it's 4 o'clock my time. 1 hour from now on Jeffrey Doherty's channel. Just as another link, there's Jeff's channel. Go to Jeff's channel, subscribe, click the bell, and very good. So we've sent him about 25 subscribers already just in the last little bit. Good. Jeff's a good dude. Scrub says, I can't even moderate myself. I love you, Scrub, because you're honest. Azazel Bound in Chains. Good to see you, Azazel Bound in Chains. Bob Fox. All right, so I don't want to... we've got great stuff to talk about. I don't want to dig into the things that I'm going to be talking about with Jeff tonight here. I'll let Jeff run his show. It's his show, but definitely something that he and I talk about often. Good to see you, Isabel Sanchez, Ace Official, Tracy Roberts, Mark Benedict, Jason Rios. Good to see you. Lou, there's Lou. Boy, how did I miss you? Have you been here the whole time, Lou? Truth say you, Maria Victoria Iani. Regards to Malia. Thank you much. And she may be listening. Jenny Side Briggs. Good to see you as well. Daisy Claire. Good to see you. All right. So, again, if you haven't already, I don't know, just for those, let me try to find this here. Those that I see people asking here to contribute to the desert event, Witness in the Desert, you can go to the PayPal pool that we have set up. And let me post a link for that here. So the PayPal pool, we are definitely not going to meet the major goal of, at least not as it sits right here, of what we wanted to raise for the complete event. But as I said, we will simply reduce the size and scope of the things that we wanted to accomplish based on what we get. I am looking to, like I said, anybody have a truck out there for sale, looking to buy a truck, 1-ton truck, let me know. Looking to get something. Just it can't be too old. It's got to be able to run and pull this thing. And if anybody has an RV to rent that is close enough out here that can bring, I'm looking to rent an RV, either a trailer or a motorhome for some of the other channel operators like Rex Bear that will be out here, so they have a place to stay. And that they can be able to operate there, do their shows. I can hook up electricity for them from a generator, so they can also operate their channels from within the trailers there. I apologize, guys, that you know, you're more than welcome to bring your own trailers, to stay in your trailers wherever we're going to be, if there is room and if it can make it. But I believe that it's most likely going to be more people in tents than trailers. I will have the trailer there because this will basically be the studio for other people as well, that we will be hooking up and be able to broadcast live. I anticipate us probably having about 6 or 8 different YouTube channels present, representing most likely more than 1 million subscribers. So I believe it's going to be a terrific time. I love you very much, and I look forward to seeing you on Jeffrey's channel. Again, like I said, don't miss it. I'm going to post Jeffrey's link here one more time. Don't miss it. 1 hour from now, that is Jeffrey's channel, and also going to post here Once again, the pool for the Witness in the Desert event. I love you very much. Stay awake. Like Christ said, stay awake. And as I always say, stay in love. I love you very much, and I'll see you in an hour.